4 years. I think that's a pretty hard sell. I can understand their desperation, their desire to try to blame what's happening in the country on anybody other than this administration, but it's important to remember this administration got everything it wanted through a totally compliant Congress for 2 long years. All of those policies are in place, and they're not working.
Here's a quote from the president. He said, after losing jobs for 25 months in a row, our businesses have now created jobs for 27 months in a row, 4.3 million jobs in all. It sounds pretty good. Your response?
Well, the president must be on another planet. I mean, you just saw the jobs figures last Friday. To argue that the private sector is in good shape, it seems to me, is to be completely disconnected from reality. We've got a very, very sluggish economy, a very slow growth rate. We're just barely bumping along, and I commend his creativity in trying to find some bright spots, but I don't think very many Americans see many.
One of the questions I had is that if, in fact, the economy was in such bad shape, and it was when he took office, why was so much attention and so much time spent during the first 2 years of his term passing the health care law?
That is a very good question. I mean, he basically wanted to have the federal government take over all of American health care. That issue is currently before the Supreme Court, and we'll find out, I guess, whether any of it is unconstitutional. But whether or not the court finds it unconstitutional, the single biggest mistake we've made in modern times in our country, the single biggest step in the direction of Europeanizing America, and look at what's happening in Europe, is to have the government take over all of American health care, and that's what Obamacare does. It requires every American to have a health insurance policy. It will also tell them what kind of health insurance policy to buy. In order to pay for that for Americans who don't have the money to buy it, the president took $500 billion out of Medicare, out of hospitals, out of hospice, out of nursing homes. They're all struggling and laying off people. Senator, Obamacare has been a huge job killer. I hope the Supreme Court will give us a chance to have a do-over.